Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Saturday edition of Weather Impact Live. I am 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio, joined by First Coast News meteorologist Lee Southwick as well in Jacksonville this morning. And Lee, it's going to be a fun show. Great to see you. Great to be here with you.
Yeah, great to be here with you. I think that this is our first weekend morning show together, and I'm excited. It's great to meet you, James, and I've heard wonderful things, and I love that we get this opportunity to talk about weather across Florida and even for parts of Southeast Georgia, too. It's cool to kind of wrap it all in, and I think it's really important, especially this weekend, since we probably have a lot of viewers traveling to each other in each other's markets with Thanksgiving coming up.
A little I-4 shuffle, something like that, right?
Yes.
No doubt. Big travel stretch here, kind of beginning today and certainly throughout the week and in towards Thanksgiving and thereafter. So a lot of folks going back and forth. I think we did a story about TPA. TPA is going to see 950,000 flyers through the airport over the next week. Almost 1 million people traveling through TPA.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's so beautiful there, and that's where I would want to go too, especially if I was up north. I don't want to do Thanksgiving in Tampa, in the Tampa Bay area.
Right.
And I know that we also have a lot of people coming here too, so should I kick it off with the First Coast forecast?
Absolutely. Have at it.
Okay. Well, let's start with a look out across our area because it is gorgeous out there now. Blue skies. Look at St. Augustine. That's my favorite look here. Plus, sorry, I am over on your Max 4, please. A little behind the scenes here. Let's get a look at around the First Coast here. We got lots of blue skies mainly. So I was mentioning St. Augustine. One place that I am watching, there we go, you can see it yourself. Waycross, you have some clouds out there. So for pretty much everyone, gorgeous and dry day, but there are a few showers that we'll be watching out for, mainly across Southeast Georgia because of a weak front that's on the way. So we should be cooling down. It is warm. We have temperatures currently sitting in the 70s, but we're going to continue to see those warm up into the middle 80s today. So great day to get outside, golfing, maybe going to the beach, go for a walk. But if we reach 84 degrees, that at the airport, the Jacksonville airport, that will tie our record high. Again, we've already been tying record highs recently, and so that's just another possibility again today. Normally, Jacksonville's at 72, so we have been over 10 degrees warmer than normal. Very warm, but still pleasant, mostly sunny. So you can see here across the First Coast, pretty much everyone has their highs in the 80s, much warmer than normal. What about those rain chances I mentioned? Very low. We could have a few showers move through. Again, higher chance across Southeast Georgia. Maybe a few of those trying to make it into Northeast Florida with that front that's on the way. I'm going to quickly show you a live radar to show you the bigger picture. And you see some of those showers moving across Georgia and some across the Panhandle near Panama City. So that's what we will watch to see if any of those make it into our area. Again, out ahead of the front. So today, rain chances extremely low. Can't rule out just a few sprinkles, but unfortunately, it's not a drought buster. And we're going to get into the drought here, I know, James, in a couple of minutes. So won't touch on that now. But if you are getting outside, you might be happy that it's not raining. I know a lot of people aren't because we need the rain, but if you do want to get out and about, you don't have to worry about rain gear. Nights of lights tonight in St. Augustine. Temperatures will slowly be dropping through the 70s. We're not going to make it to the 60s until about 9 p.m. So as has been the case since the first night, since light up night of Nights of Lights, you do not need a heavy holiday sweater. It's too warm for that. Maybe a light jacket depending on how late you are staying out. Then tomorrow morning, our lows in the 60s across the board. And you can see there in the top right corner, our average low this time of year is 50 degrees. So mornings also more mild than normal. Something else we got to watch out for. We've had to watch it for the past several mornings, but really watching tomorrow morning, more fog on the way. This morning we had fog mainly in western areas, except for down to Palm Coast and then up towards St. Simon's Island and Brunswick. But a good chunk of, say, Duval County and St. Johns County and Nassau County mostly stayed fog free, maybe far western areas of Duval and Nassau. But the long story short is that I do think that we will have more widespread fog tomorrow morning that we'll have to worry about. If you're out early driving to church, just hitting the road, something to watch for. Try to give yourself that extra time on the roads. But Clouds will clear, fog will clear, skies will become sunny tomorrow. Again, when it comes to those rain chances, we can't rule out just an isolated sprinkle or two in our far southern counties as that front continues to try to push through. Doesn't really cool us down too much, especially not tomorrow. Highs near 82 degrees, so still warmer than normal. Here's a look at your future radar, and you can see, yeah, it looks pretty much dry for our Sunday. So, I mean, I won't rule out a tiny sprinkle, but most of us good to go. So that cool down, big cool down? Nah, not this one, not yet. Monday, 78 degrees for our high. So at least we're back in the 70s, right? But again, 72s are normal high. So this is still warmer than normal. Lots of sunshine, a little bit of a cooler breeze on Monday. Enjoy it while we have it because it is not going to be sticking around. In fact, let me find a graphic here. There we go. I want to show you our highs over the next couple of days. While we temporarily dip down into the 70s, we jump right back into the 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday, high near 82 degrees. Now, Wednesday, big day for those in the Jacksonville area, and especially out at the beaches, because that's opening night for Deck the Chairs. Temperatures will be warm in the 70s and then slowly falling down to the lower 70s. We will have to watch out for maybe an isolated sprinkle Wednesday into Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. That's when our next big front arrives here. This is going to be the one where you notice the cool down. So I can't rule out an isolated shower on Thanksgiving, but again, the rain that we will see Wednesday to Thursday, I don't think it's enough to cancel or ruin any outdoor plans, just something to watch. But notice here on your temperatures, your high at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 72 degrees. I just showed you how we were 82 on Wednesday down to 72. So we're dropping. And by the way, 72 degrees, that is normal for this time of year. So that is a seasonal Thanksgiving forecast, but we're not going to stop cooling down from there. Notice those lows Friday morning. Friday morning is a big morning. Black Friday shopping. And James, here, at least in the Jacksonville area and on the First Coast, we will have to bundle up for shopping because we will be in the 40s and 50s Friday morning.
Yeah, a little chilly, no doubt here. And yeah, you guys have been running well above the norm on temperatures. You know, we've also been above normal, but our normal has been 78, 79 degrees. And so when we're running at 82, 83, we've been more like 5 degrees to the plus side, whereas you guys are record challenging, if not, record breaking temps, 10 degrees or so more above the norm. All right, Lee, thank you. Yeah, let's jump into some Tampa weather, shall we? And here's what we have going on the West Coast. We're talking about a gorgeous go as we take a live look around from downtown Tampa to St. Pete, Lakeland, all shaping up great. Armature works so far this morning looking fantastic, so nothing to worry about there. On the Futurecast, I think we're looking really nice as well. We've got temperatures on Futurecast looking fantastic here as we make our way in towards, the afternoon hours. So, nothing to worry about there. Are we not seeing Futurecast? Can we pump Futurecast up? Or are you taking max here? Futurecast should be up. All right, so there we go. Again, Futurecast looking really good Sunday, 7:30 in the morning tomorrow morning. Shaping up great. No issues there from Tampa to St. Pete, further southward to Bradenton and in towards Sarasota. All shaping up fantastic here. So no issues, no problems. As we move in towards your day on Sunday, those temperatures will be climbing in towards 73, 74 here. Northwestern winds, which are on the lighter side as well. And then as we head in towards tomorrow, into the afternoon hours, those temperatures climbing into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So let's go back to WSI. There we go. Futurecast. Or Max. I'm dating myself, just calling it W. That's our computer systems, by the way. So you heard Lee say, hey, switch to Max 4 before. So it's all, we live and die by our computers. All right. So anyway, I digress. Our afternoon, high temps, low 80s, looking great. Visibility is now so much better. We had a little fog this morning. Lee was talking about a little fog there on the First Coast as well. That's not an issue. Current winds have been light, and that has led to the formation of some fog this morning in through Polk County, Hernando as well. Again, nothing to worry about in that regards at this point. Satellite and radar picture, high pressure sort of has drifted towards the Bahamas. That's opened up the back door a little bit. You could see a little bit of that weather and that frontal boundary trying to get organized, moving through the Gulf in towards the Panhandle as well. Certainly no issue there, but we have our cold fronts kind of stacking up here out to the west. Lee alluded to it, that front moving through tomorrow. It's a cold front really in name only. and there's not much cold air with it, nor is there much in the way of any rain with it. So over the next couple of days, there it is. There's our front. This front, by the way, kind of slides through southwestern Florida, and it's going to bounce back as a warm front over the next couple of days, and that's why we kind of warm up a little bit into early next week. Drought conditions have not been good. So, Lee, we've been really, really dry here on the West Coast. You guys have been super dry up there in northeastern Florida as well. So we're in moderate drought, and that will continue for the next, foreseeable future. Might even get worse as we make our way in towards, the next coming weeks. This drought monitor, by the way, updates every week on Thursday, and you can see that area of drought has certainly expanded just a little bit and expanded in towards portions of even down towards Naples and down in towards Fort Myers. So rainfall for us for November, the only measurable rainfall we've had at TPA was on November 9th, and we only picked up 7/100ths of an inch. So not even a tenth of an inch on November 9th. So it's been really, really dry around here. To give you some context, more context, August we had over 11 inches of rain. September and October together was a little over 1 inch. So we picked up 10 inches more of rain in August than we have in September and October combined. So it has just been, that's a problem as we're going into the dry season. We're already almost 8 inches below where we should be, and we're not expecting much in the way of rain. Sunday, it's about a 10% chance tomorrow. As we move in towards Wednesday, we'll call it Thanksgiving Eve, it's about a 10% chance as well. And that forecasted rainfall has been really, really minimal here and will be minimal as we head into Sunday and Monday. As I mentioned, some of the computer model guidance is only hinting at 3 or 4/100ths of an inch. So really, really minimal, and certainly not drought busting rain, not even drought denting rain, barely drought noticeable rain. There it is. Look at that. Wauchula, 2/100ths. Arcadia, 2/100ths. Nothing in the Bay Area, unfortunately. So that is a quick look at how we've been faring drought-wise and kind of covering that. The drought has been an issue, Lee, up in your neck of the woods as well. So let's send it back to Lee now, who can cover that part of the story for the First Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we take my graphics too, I'll show you that we're under drought for most of our area. We have parts that are extreme. So Lake City, that's like Columbia County, cuts north all the way up to Waycross and over to Folkston. We are under an extreme drought here for parts of the First Coast. So I know people desperately really do need this rain. There's a lot of agriculture for those inland areas that really need the rain as well. Then there's severe drought too. That's the orange that we see there. And so that does include portions of Nassau County. It does cut along mainly near I'll say west of 301. And it continues north, so even towards Brunswick, starting to see that severe drought creep further and further east towards coastal southeast Georgia. Then moderate drought extends all the way out into coastal southeast Georgia, moderate drought for Fernandina Beach, moderate drought for even Jacksonville Beach, or just north of that, more like Atlantic Beach, really, in Mayport. And then even when you see there that there's no drought here for St. Johns County and Flagler County, I actually want to try to find something real quick to show you because there we go. Percentage of normal precipitation for the month. We have not had any rain recorded for the month of November so far. So although St. Johns County and Flagler County not highlighted under that drought yet because they saw so much rain late summer and early fall, now they're not getting any. So unfortunately, they are likely starting to transition towards drought-like conditions as well. And so with that said, it's something that we need to watch very closely because, as mentioned, no rain at all so far. And then, let's see, this is having trouble loading up all the way, but those totals are correct. 0% rain so far here. This almanac will do a better job. If we look at the bottom of the graphic, no rain today, no rain this month. That is a deficit of 1.35 inches. And so far for the year, at the Jacksonville Airport, this is just Jacksonville Airport, we have had over 9 inches of rain less. Like, we need 9+ inches of rain to catch us back up to what's normal. So that's just the drought for the Jacksonville airport, where if we look back at our drought map, that's where we're under moderate drought. So just imagine what it's like for those areas in severe and extreme where that red is. So something, James, that we're watching very closely here, unfortunately. And you can even see the exceptional drought starting to expand towards places like Tallahassee and the Florida Panhandle. And all of us desperately need some rain.
Drought is, it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. And it's very similar to what the folks up in the Philadelphia area last fall had. I mean, and the timing is identical. Up in Delaware Valley and through portions of New Jersey, they had a very, very similar timeline on their drought last year. And thankfully, rains really in kind of December over the winter, that sort of thing kind of eased them out. They had a couple big storms. So hopefully we'll get some good rainmakers. But the difference being here in Florida, we're going into our dry season. So the likelihood of that is pretty slim. We're not going to be saved by a bigger storm that could produce 2, 3, 4 inches of rain unless we get the anomaly of the thunderstorm that just kind of sits and starts to produce some heavy rain. So we'll see. But going into the dry season with a deficit like that is certainly not good news. All right, so Lee, we're going to, you want to say something on that?
I was just going to say, it's like we're very grateful that we didn't have any hurricanes,
yes,
right? Any sort of tropical systems, like especially compared to last season. Like, we deserved this break, but that's obviously what led to this and to these drought-like conditions, because usually when in the peak of tropic season, we have a system or two or three, my goodness, that brings so much rain that now we are very grateful again for that quiet tropic season, but this is what happens. Unfortunately, we have these drought conditions now. Exactly.
Yeah, we would have liked to have gotten our rain from, maybe your garden variety thunderstorm and just more consistent, regular, non-severe events, right? That would have been optimal. But it seems like, and as our weather seems, every year our weather seems to get more extreme. Either we get hammered with tropical events, whether it be tropical storms and hurricanes, or we get nothing. So the balance just seems out of whack. And whether you want to chalk that up to climate change or whatever, it just seems like our weather is more extreme, and that's the way we've been running. It's either all or nothing, feast or famine.
It is. Sorry, just getting some background cues, but
there's some hand signals,
you're
right?
Telling us. I tend to overtalk. You'll find that, James. I like to talk, so I have to get my time cues letting me know how much time we have left.
Sure,
to
no,
wrap
it's all
things
good.
Up.
Hey, it is what it is. Cues are important.
So, like you said, feast or famine, and it's weird because again, we just said we need the rain, but I'm also very delighted to tell people that no tropical formation expected not only for the next 7 days, but through the rest of hurricane season. We're actually almost done with hurricane season. And so it's really nice to know that it will be quiet, no tropics to worry about as we approach Thanksgiving and Black Friday and we head into the holiday season. So like you said, just a couple of afternoon thunderstorms would have been nice. Like, these fronts moving through, we don't want severe weather, and sometimes cold fronts can bring severe thunderstorms, but just a little bit more rain rather than I'm going to pull this up again real quick. Here in the Jacksonville area, at best, we have 30% chance of rain, and it's on Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be on the holiday, but 10, 20, 30% rain, we need more rain than that.
No doubt, Lee. Yeah, it would be nice to see some more consistent, garden variety showers, maybe even a non-severe thunderstorm, something capable of producing ½ inch, an inch here, inch there. At least we could chip away at the drought a little bit and moisten things up a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, so let's go from drought to temperatures, pattern change, and of course, what we can expect for Thanksgiving. So I've got it loaded here for how we're looking now. And in the southeast, it's one of the warmest portions of the United States, from Wilmington, North Carolina, which is actually warmer than Tampa right now, TPA at 77, Key West at 81. But as I expand that view, look at all that cold air from International Falls, the icebox of America, down to Albuquerque, only about a 5-degree temperature difference. So International Falls sitting at 37, Albuquerque, Desert Southwest at 42 right now. So that cold air really on the west coast, the western side of the United States, has really kind of permeated further southward. Portland, Oregon, 39 degrees. Even Portland is colder than Billings, Montana. So that cold air really kind of slid down through that portion of the United States. So that is a little bit of a harbinger of what may be to come. Not so much here an issue in Florida, but of course it's a huge travel week. We told you we're going to see 950,000 travelers through TPA over the next week or so. So there's the upper air pattern as we move in towards tomorrow. Notice that big dip in the west. That's the jet stream. That's the river of air at about 30,000 feet, dipping all the way down into northern Mexico. And as a result, that cold air, it will be filling in and funneling in into that trough, we call it. That dip is called a trough. And, there it is. By Tuesday, you're starting to see a bit of the polar vortex in Canada break off and move further southward here in towards Thanksgiving as well. Now, it makes a run for Atlanta. Not so much in towards southern Georgia, but yeah, it gets pretty close. Next weekend, look at that Saturday. Lee, you guys are going to get cold up in Jacksonville and in towards Brunswick and in towards southern Georgia, no doubt. That purple shading you see in Edmonton, that's some really cold air, which will be funneling south. Not all the way to Florida, certainly, and not even really down into the south per se, but it moves over the plain states, certainly, Sunday, November 3rd. So if you got travel plans, I don't know, maybe you're visiting family in Minneapolis or Chicago or perhaps in towards the Northeast into Boston even. So there is that, look at that, spilling into Denver early next week. So, yeah, better them than us. Anyway, Thanksgiving Day, 76 degrees here in the Bay Area. A leftover shower or two could be on the menu, as well as some cooler air. I think we'll get a second helping of cooler air perhaps later in the weekend here. So for today, 83 degrees, mostly sunny. We've shaken off some morning fog, and it really wasn't too problematic. Polk County areas like that, inland areas, had a little fog to deal with. Tonight, temperatures dip down into the mid-60s. It is clear. Tomorrow, high temperatures in the lower 80s for us here on the West Coast. Partly cloudy, going to do it, light little wind. And then a check of your 7-day forecast. Shapes up like this. Notice the trend downward here as we move in towards Thanksgiving Eve, Thursday, Thanksgiving, Friday, Black Friday. We've got a high of 72 with an overnight low of 57. Lee, you were talking about overnight lows in the Jacksonville area in the mid 40s. So certainly we're not as cool as that, but we live by a lot of weather sayings in the weather world. And one of those is the trend is your friend. And we're trending downward, not only here in Tampa, but obviously in the First Coast as well, where you've got some chillier temperatures heading your way for Thanksgiving week and into the weekend after Thanksgiving, past Black Friday.
And then, even you said, so you're in the 50s in the morning. That's still a shock to the system after these highs in the 80s. So I still think all of us, no matter where we're watching from, will be quite chilly shopping on Black Friday morning.
Exactly. You better break out the Amazon account, or maybe you want to stay home.
The online shopping?
Yeah, do a little online. What's that? That's Cyber Monday.
Yes, Cyber Monday. That's so true. Because I got to tell you, where I'm from, which is Fernandina Beach for all of our local viewers, Fernandina does downtown shopping Friday morning, Black Friday morning in pajamas. And when it's cold, the pajamas are excellent. You see full-grown adults in these huge onesies and stuff. So at least I know the people watching Friday morning in Fernandina is going to be excellent with it being that cold.
I'm sure. It's kind of like the Christmas ugly sweater. So you could wear your ugly PJs, your feety PJs, if you can get them in your Uggs, I guess.
Yes.
That's awesome. You got to post some pictures.
Also, can I really quick, I forgot to add this, James, to my forecast.
Yeah,
but we usually talk about a football forecast.
Yeah.
So I would love to pull that up very quickly, if that's okay.
Rock on.
Of course, anyone who's going to the UGA game, they needed to leave long ago. But if you are a dog, and this is what your dogs will be playing in, at kickoff, it's near 76 degrees and cloudy, but you should be seeing more sunshine later on through the game. Now, Gainesville, we do have a lot of people that probably haven't started packing up to head towards Gainesville yet, because that kickoff's not till 7:30 p.m. So t-shirt today in the afternoon with the 80s, but kickoff is at 70 degrees, and then it will be dropping through the 60s through the game, and that's usually a little cool for us. So just a friendly reminder to bring a jacket with you if you're going to Gainesville to watch the Gators, or the Vols if you're a Tennessee fan. I'm a Gator fan. I will be there cheering on the Gators.
I don't think I'd need a jacket at 70 degrees. I'd call that pretty darn nice. So
You and I are different. If it's under 73, I start getting goosebumps.
oh, no way. No, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Unless it's breezy, then maybe a light little like windbreaker or something like that, and a hat because I'm old and bald, you know.
I'm a wimp, so yeah, I saw 70, I was like, oh, like I literally have, I wish I had it here with me. It's sitting out there. It's a heavier hoodie that I'm bringing with me for the 60s.
Oh my. Anyway, yeah, so it's perfect. So you got a little what to wear forecast there if you're heading out to the game as well. So yeah, I got a chance to see Tennessee play my Gamecocks over the spring. Tennessee baseball, who had a fantastic season. So they were, I think at one point they were ranked #1 in the SEC. So Tennessee, not only has a good football team, but also a very good baseball team as well. And sadly, they did beat the Gamecocks, so a little disappointed about that.
I'm sorry. Did you know that our chief here in Jacksonville, Lou, is also a Gamecock?
No, I didn't know that. How about that?
Yeah, you're in good company.
Yes, that's awesome.
I like to make fun of him a lot for that, so this will be fun. We're going to have some fun here on Saturday mornings.
Fun. I'm going to have to bring in my South Carolina ball caps for you.
If you do that, I'll bring my Gator stuff. We'll have a lot of fun.
There we go. It sounds good. Sounds like a good time. All right. So, Lee, hey, it was great chatting with you for the last half hour. Hopefully our viewers enjoyed it as much as I did. And, hey, we'll see you next weekend. Have a great day, everybody.